Welcome back, and I'm going to demonstrate about another case of method of polymorphism, which is called a method of overriding. Okay, method of overriding is the base class. Okay, as I explained already, the not the base class, the subtypes or the subclass is going to re-implement the method that inherited from the base class in order to feed the behavior of a new or special subtypes here. Let's just give an example like we demonstrated before. Okay, this is the one. So we have the case of a person which has the ID name. The person is able to eat, the person is able to work, and a subtypes of it, which is a lecturer. A lecturer is also a person, so the lecturer can also have the ID name, will be able to eat as well, will be able to work as well. And besides those common characteristics and behaviors, the lecturer has its own special characteristics which is to the department. Similarly, the student is able to have the common characteristics like idea, name, and its common behavior like ability to eat and work, because student is also a person. And besides the common characteristics and behaviors, the student has his own special characteristics, which is their class of students. But the special thing over here is for a lecturer, the way the lecturer eats is just the same way as a person eats, but the way a lecturer works is somehow different from the way the person works. So you can inherit ID name with its getter and setter. You can inherit it, but for the work method, you may not inherit it. You do inherit it, but then you re-implement it to show the lecturer, besides working like a normal person is, its ways of working is to teach. Similarly, the student can inherit the ID names, and its getter and setters can inherit the eat methods. Okay. Because the way a student eats is just like the way that any normal person eats. However, the way the student work is not like a normal person work. The way student work is special because it should show like studying. So you see from here, the work method of a student is showing that I'm working, but the work method of student should show that I'm studying, and the work method of the lecturer should also show that I'm teaching. So in order to do this one, you need to override the work method of their override the work method of their persons. Okay, override the work method of the person instead of just simply inherit it from the class person. So in this case, I'm going to code and demonstrate this one using Java. So click new application. Next, in this one, you're going to have session number 7. This one is methods overriding. Okay, method overriding. For this one, we're going to create a new class, which is the class person. Okay, person. For person, we're going to describe the common characteristic is int private int ID, private string name, and we're going to create the constructor for the person. We're going to create the getter and setter for the persons. Okay, and a person can eat. Okay, and a person can eat. So you'll see that a person can eat. So you're going to do public void to eat, and this one we're going to display. This one is eating. Okay, a person can work to public void work. This one is to show I'm working. This one is for a person, so we're going to test that person here. So you're going to declare persons p equal to new persons. Okay, and then this one is person number 1. This one meter this one is meter person. Just name it as a person. Then we can add the person to eat, and we can add the person to work. Okay, and you can also display the name. Okay, person name. Then just a name. Then okay, you can access to the p dot get the name of the persons. Okay. name of the person. For this one, it's nothing about method overloading yet, okay, overriding yet. So this one is just, I have a class person, name is person, and I'm calling to the method I'm eating is display I'm eating, and I'm calling to the method I'm working, it displaying to I'm working. Now, in this case, we're going to create a subtype, which is a lecturer. A lecturer is also a person, so it extends the person's class. And besides extending the person, besides having the idea name like a person, it has a special characteristic, which is to have private string, the department of the person. So we're going to create the constructor. So in order to create the lecturer, you need to put the idea name to create the person. Then you're going to need to specify the string for the department as well. So if you don't know this one, please go to the section for inheritance. So I'm gonna make this one fast. Super here is to call to the constructor of the super type of this lecturer, which is the person in this case. Or this one is to create a person passing the idea name. Then the department is for department of the lecturer here. Okay, then now you're going to create getters and setter for this department as well. Okay, so right now, if you create a lecturer, lecturer are equal to new lecturer. Okay, this one is number 2. This one is lecturer. Okay, and the department is, let's say, IT department. Then you're going to put the name, okay, plus L dot get name method that you inherited from. The get name method is inherited from the person, okay, and you're going to add the lecturer to eat, it's gonna eat, lecturer to work, it's going to work. And if you run this one now, you'll see, okay, so for the person, if you call the eat method is show I'm eating, if you show do the work method is call the work method is gonna show I'm working. For the lecturer, if you call to eat method, it's also eating because inherited from person. If you call to work method, it's going to show I'm working as well because inherited from the person that you don't do anything with it. Only purely inherited from person. But in this case, as we explained, the lecturer going to eat the same way that the person eats. So the eat method is acceptable. Okay, the eat method is acceptable. But I'm going to modify the work methods. Okay, besides showing I'm working, it should show also means I'm teaching. So we should modify the work method of the person. In this case, we're going to override this method. So in order to override, you're going to do the control space, and you're going to choose the method, existing method, which is the work method. And so you can see override there, or you can just place the override keyword on it, then write the same method with the same signature there. And the super keyword is to help you to call to the work method of the person, which means is to display the composite method, which means is to display that I'm working. Okay, but we override it by changing beside I'm working. It's also display means I am teaching. Okay, means I am teaching here. So we override or we modify the work method for the lecturer. Okay, for the lecturer. So if you see from now here, you'll see for the lecturer, beside eating is eating, this is the same as the person. But now if you call the work method, if you call to the work method of the lecturer, it's going to call to the work method of the person, which is I'm eating. Sorry, I'm working here, and also add means I'm teaching. See, because you already overridden the methods there by calling to the work method, original work method of the person, and also display means I'm teaching there. Okay, this one is called method over writing. Okay, then just to make things more complicated, as I already explained before, the pointer of where is that one? So you can use the pointer of the supertype to point to the object of subtype, to store a pointer object of subtype. So you want to see from here, you can take P, okay, instead of creating new lecturer, you can take P here, okay, P equal to lecturer number 2, and we're going to add the P dot get name, you're going to add to P dot eat P dot work, okay, P dot eat P dot work. You can see from here, the same object which is P, person, okay, same object which is person. To eat here and the person to eat here will be just the same, but the same object which is person, to work here, it is the work method of the person. But to work here, it is actually the work method of the lecturer, because in this situation, the pointer P is pointing to the lecturer object, not the person object. That's why this work method is work method of the lecturer. So if you run this one now, you will see. So this is the work method of the person, but this one is the work method of the lecturer. Okay, because in this case the pointer P is pointing to lecturer, not pointing to the person. You will see right now, which is for the same object, okay, for the same object P, but in different situation. This situation is pointing to the person, this situation is pointing to the lecturer. It's going to behave differently, even though it is for the same method, okay, same method work, but the method work for the object P, if it is pointing to the person, it is I'm working, but if it is pointing to lecturer, it is I'm working, means I'm teaching. That one is the method of the work of the lecturer, okay. And this one is called method overriding. The lecturer override the work method of the person, and in order to call to the work method of the person itself, you can use a super keyword to call, okay, to call. And this one, it is called dynamic polymorphism. Why do it's called dynamic? Because you will not know the it method here. Sorry, the work method here is the work method of the lecturer, or the work method here is the method of the person up until the runtime point. Okay, because after runtime, you will know the object P is pointing to what objects there. Okay. Similarly, you can create the method for the another one, which is the students. Okay, the students is going to extend the persons, and beside the characteristics of the person, you're going to have another one, which is private string, and the class of the student, you're going to create the constructor. Okay, and I'm going to switch this one at the end there. Okay, then okay, then you're going to create the getters and setters for the department itself. Okay, and you would like to override the method work for the student. The student is going to eat the same way as a normal person would eat, but for the student, you're going to call to the work method. The work method won't call to the work method of the person itself, okay, of superclass. And right now, you're going to add means I am studying, okay, means I am studying. So you're going to be able to use this one, like the person P now is pointing to the new students, okay, and this one is number 3, and this one is students, and this one is the class is anyone can code NCC Java. Okay, anyone can code Java from vtgames.bn. Now, this person, you can ask name of these persons, okay, then plus P dot get name is gonna be the same. You can add the person P to eat and the person P to work. Again, the eat method gonna be just the same as the eat method of the person, but the work method is the work method of the student, so it's gonna be different. So the work method of the student is here. See, so this one is called method overriding. Okay, method overriding, and it is called the dynamic polymorphism. So as I concluded now, the polymorphism is including 2 parts: the static one, which is method overloading, and the dynamic one, which is method overriding. Okay, see you later.